Hey, hi everyone, and welcome. I just wanted to make a really quick video about why it's so important with what's going on in the world today to meditate. And what's going on in the world today could be said 10 years ago or 10 years forward. There's always something going on in the world, right? And oftentimes, most times, maybe always, all the time, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So depending on what you're tuned into, it's important to meditate. And here's why. When we meditate, really take that time out to just sit quietly and allow guidance to come through. It puts us in a position of really navigating through the world in a way that is, well, sometimes can be even said it's magical. But even if it doesn't get to the magical level, it is definitely a pretty exciting way to move through the world. In other words, when I say navigate, rather than getting stuck and caught in what's going on, the ugly that's going on, we get into more of a neutral place. And also we get a lot of insight and guidance from all our guides, all of our cheerleaders, I like to call them sometimes, as we're navigating through whatever happens to be going on at the time. And that insight and it's called intuition at times, allows us to move very gracefully through what could be some very tough times. Now that doesn't mean that we're not going through struggles or feeling some negative emotions or for maybe even have some very difficult circumstances going on in our lives. But the more that we will take the time, give ourselves that gift of sitting quietly every single day for hopefully, I like to say an hour, at least a half an hour. It is a huge, huge gift we give ourselves, actually. And here's the weird thing. I don't know if it's a weird thing, but it's exactly what happens, right? Is oftentimes when we are feeling overwhelmed and concerned and worried or fearful or whatever it is that's going on, we don't even think about sitting down and meditating. In fact, we think it's insane. How could I do that? I've got so much going on. I can't possibly find 5 minutes. You're telling me to sit for 30 minutes quietly. Anyway, when I try to sit quiet, my mind goes crazy with what's going on. It just doesn't stop. It's like relentless in trying to get me to stop sitting down. Like, what are you doing sitting down, it says. Like, when you've got all this going on, you barely can get anything done that you need to get done. 24 hours a day isn't enough for you. That's the chatter. I got it. I know it. I've been there. Believe me. So it sounds like I'm asking you to do something crazy. In the midst of all this trauma drama, all this anxiety, difficulties, not enough time, I'm asking you to take 30 to 60 minutes every single day and sit quietly. And yes, I get it, that your mind can be going crazy, but the mind will stop going crazy when you keep showing up to sit. It'll get it, because you see, it's stopping you right now. It's winning. When you try to sit quietly, or if you've ever tried, it's saying it goes crazy. It starts going nuts, right? The monkey mind. And it's saying to you, what are you doing sitting down? You've got so much to do, yada, yada. Okay. But if you continue to sit for that 30, even 30 minutes a day, eventually the mind calms down. Eventually, you start to hear your guides. You start to see life through a completely different lens. The struggle, the anxiety, the difficulties, the circumstances, they don't change necessarily. But as you begin to change how you're seeing it, you aren't having the reactions of the anxiety, of the desperation, of the fear, of the hopeless. Those things start to completely move out of your system. And then when that happens, the circumstances actually change. I know, it's weird, really. It's how it works. It's exactly how it works. But you see, it takes us to make the commitment to sit. That's the way out. The way out is in. Or the way in is out. How do we say that? The way out is in, yeah. We've got to go within. In spite of all the things that show you don't have time, or you shouldn't, or you couldn't, or whatever. Or it doesn't work for you. It's so hard to really, if you haven't had this experience, that's really what it is, an experience. It's very, very difficult, I know, to grasp this. So I just kind of do the best I can, and hoping that just maybe I can catch a couple of you in the right spot and convince you that if you would do this, you will be absolutely amazed at the difference that your life will take on. And you will use this throughout the rest of your life. You'll know this will be kind of your go-to place. You'll know when things get crazy and out of control, you go and sit quietly. Because you'll know that's the place to be to handle the situations. You see, we try to handle it, well, it tries to get handled through the ego. And the ego, it doesn't go anywhere. It just kind of keeps going round and round and round like a hamster wheel in the same direction. It can't do anything or fix anything. The ego has no power like that. The only power it can have is over you, that you keep listening to it instead of sitting quiet. So that's it. I'm going to just leave this real brief, which is unusual for me, I know. But I just felt kind of pulled to come on. I know there's a lot of stuff going on right now in the world, and it's really tough to deal with it all. It's coming at us pretty fast and furious. But I'm telling you the way to deal with it and not get caught and actually be of great service to others is to get quiet and get into that other space and then start to see life in a completely different way, and you'll start to see things change. So, I hope this helps somebody. And thank you so much for listening. And thank you for being here. And we'll see you next time. By the way, take care.